Hey everybody, Eric here from Bloat Games coming at you today. I apologize, I'm just checking on my phone to make sure that we are live and we are streaming. There we go, I got it. All right. So hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to hop on tonight. I had a whole bunch of information I wanted to share with everybody. I've been super busy, like crazy busy. Um, we have a lot going on at Bloat Games. We're trying to get a lot of stuff done and complete it. We have a lot of stuff, a lot of different projects that are either this close to completion or about to be launched. And we got Kickstarters that are wrapping up. We got a Kickstarter that's about to launch. It's all good stuff here at Bloat Games. It just hasn't left me a lot of time to come on and say hi to everybody and to give information. I've been getting some questions. I just want to try to blast out as much information as I can. So this is just going to be a pure Bloat Games centric stream where I just launch in and tell you what I know of what's going on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make sure that I have the ability to see the chat. So while I'm doing this, not Daniel Tosh people pleaser. I'm looking for the Bloat Games. So while I'm pulling it up, making sure that I can get into the chat. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was Dark Places and Demigorgons and Kickstarter, right? As you guys know, that's the Kickstarter that really kind of put us on the map as far as a game company, and we had released a couple things prior to that, but that was the one that got everybody's attention. So let's see, all right, I got everything coming up. So the Dark Place and Demigorgons, that was the one put us on the map. That Kickstarter, we did really good. I mean, like 263 backers. We did way above. Hey Malik, what's up, man? All right, I'm just now getting the chat up. So, but yeah, we did way above what was expected. But with that, we were able to do a whole bunch of stretch goals, and the stretch goals that we did, they were all stretch goals that were available in PDF format. A couple of those have already came out. So we had the Vampire source book, which Jody Brandt and I tag teamed, and we got that out, and then we got the physical product out right after that. The next one to come out was the Jefferson Town setting guide, which just came out. Now, initially, when we did this as a Kickstarter, like an additional thing for Kickstarter stretch go, we were thinking to do like a 30 to 50 page PDF, and that PDF really ballooned and pardon the pun, but bloated up. Yeah, so it went up to like 140 pages, and that one was written by Josh Palmer, the other co-creator of Dark Places Demigorgons. He also created Survive This. Just happens to be my best friend. And then Jonathan Meadows, a local guy here from a group called Nerd Louisville. They like organize all kinds of stuff and games around town and stuff like that. And we hooked up with him, and we got along great with Jonathan. So I asked him to come aboard. Really super happy with the way that one came out. Yeah, I'm Malik. That cover it's awesome and crazy. I mean, that's spooky. When I found that, I was like, oh, we got to use this. So we were able to get that done and knocked out. And but what most people don't know is that we have the player's guide and the GM's guide, which is initially for the Kickstarter, the 3 stretch goals were a Vampire source book, the setting guide, the J-Town setting guide, and then a third book that was just going to be called Classes, and we were going to do 10 additional classes. That third stretch goal, which is called Classes, is now changed its name. It's now the Player Options and GM Guide, and it's got like 18 classes, I believe, in it. Then some optional classes on top of that. And these are additional classes. These aren't repeat classes from the core book. So it's all new material. It's got all kinds of stuff. Josh put in all kinds of charts and like stuff for your character, your background, and stuff for the GM to roll, like if you play in our party, what song's playing, and just all kinds of really, really cool stuff. The good news is we're hoping to get that out sometime next week. But on top of that, unlike the previous two things we've done for the stretch goals, that is going to be a free PDF forever. Now, eventually it's going to come out in print, and the print, you know, there's a cost associated with the print, but I decided to make it the PDF for it free. The Kickstarter backers already got it free, you know, as part of their stretch goals. But, you know, we've sold a lot of books on top of the Kickstarter. Uh-oh. Is this audio any better, Luke? Oh, wait a second. You told my audio is messing up. When it catches up to you, just drop it in the chat. Let me know if my audio is back up. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Malik says, warning, warning, the Demogorgon is affecting the audio. It's pretty funny. All right, so I'm going to try to muddle through. If it turns out that kind of warbled, let's see. Let's try this. Things are about to get crazy. You're about to move. Hold on to your horses. Try to bring you a little bit closer. Is that any better? Hey everybody, Eric here from Bloat Games. Coming at you today. Place the Demogorgons. Okay. This Demogorgons, that was on the map. 140 pages, and that one was written by. Cool. All right, so we'll I get a little bit. So I'll talk as loud as I can, and if not, we'll cut it off here. Just let me know how it turns out on the other side, guys. But the Dark Places, Demogorgons, the player's guide and GM's, or player's options and GM's guide. It's now going to be around 100 pages. We're in the last touches of layout, and it's right on the cusp of going over. But that's going to be free to everybody. I want to make sure that people who had already bought the core book, that they didn't feel left out as far as having options for the players to do and things like that. So this one, the PDF will always be free of that, and then we'll have, you know, print coming a little bit later. So that's what we got going on with that, and that actually concludes the Kickstarter. Which the Kickstarter, if I'm correct, I believe the Kickstarter was the date was the to be delivered date was May of 2018. So that puts us a few months ahead. So I'm pretty happy about that. So then we go on to our news about our, there you go, fixed. Awesome. So then we go on to our news about our second Kickstarter, right? So the Vigilante Hack, or the Complete Vigilante Hack, this was part of a Make 100 Kickstarter campaign. And so this was limited to 100 pieces, and the backers, I ended up with, I believe, 73 backers. And so we got this in, and one of the things that was messed up before is this was off. They made this larger, the barcode larger than it quoted, so it covered up half of this picture. So we were able to get this scooted over. So everything about this one now is up to specs, and I just received today the full shipment of the 100 books. So we're going to be able to get those out to the backers probably starting as early as next week. So if you're a backer and you're seeing this and you haven't responded to the survey, respond to the survey now. It's, you know, we're close, we're ready to go, and I don't want you guys to have to wait any longer than that. All right, so we got, those are the 2 Kickstarters that we already had going, but now we have a third Kickstarter coming up, and this is the one that I've been getting a lot of questions about. And that is, of course, going to be the Survive This Zombies second edition, which is going to be available in color and black and white. In my little doobly-doo down below in the description, you can go in there. There's a link to my Patreon page. You don't have to sign up to be a Patreon. I just always leave that down there. But some of the things that I posted over there, there's a printout right now kind of what the reward tiers are expected to be. There's also some really cool stuff for the for my patrons, like stuff that I've been working on that I'm going to talk about here in just a little bit. But if you hop over to my Patreon page, you will see the reward tiers, which are subject to change, but I think we got them pretty much locked down. All right, so the Survive This Zombies second edition goes live on March 13th. It's going to go live probably about 9 a.m. That usually is when I like to launch them. And it's only going to run for a 7-day campaign. So as far as this one, instead of doing a big 30-day blowout campaign, kind of like we did with Dark Places and Demigorgons, this is more for the people, because I know a lot of people have already bought Survive This Zombies, the first edition, and I don't want them to feel that we're just putting out something to make money. So this is going to be just for people who want to get the new information that's in it, because there's quite a bit. There's backgrounds, which wasn't in it. Essentially, if you flip through your Dark Places and Demigorgons book, each little section will be represented for the most part in the that. Plus, you're going to get a ton of new classes. I think there's like 5 or 6 new classes off the top of my head. Yes, the art is optimized. I see the art is optimized for the black and white version. So the art will be scaled down to grayscale. It does come from the same color pieces, but they're then transfixed down to grayscale. So you're not just sending color pieces through a black and white printer and getting the printout from that. They're actually going to print out the way that they, fingers crossed, the way that they're supposed to. So definitely has been optimized. All right, so that's going to come in. That book's going to be right under 100 pages, and the reason why it's going to be under 100 pages is for the because the cost of color printing is ridiculous. And I was trying to keep the cost of the color books down as much as I could for you guys, because we're going to have the black and white book. We're going to have a color softback, and then a color hardback. So I wanted to keep those as affordable as I could. And I know a lot of people like to get like the hardback for them and for their shelf, and then a softback to play at the table and to pass around. So the hardcover, well, actually, Luke, I see hardcover $35. The hardcover, there is a early bird special where the hardcover is, I believe, $35 exactly, for the first. I don't remember how many people it is. It's either 25 or 50. But then the hardcovers will be $39.99 after that. At $35, that's really cutting it as close as I can. But yeah. It's definitely because like the Dark Place and Demogorgons hardcovers, they were 35 and 45. So we're definitely working towards being cost effective for our people who buy our games. So we got that coming up. Like I said, it's going to be going around March 13th through March 20th. So just 7 days. If you follow us over on Facebook, there is an event create. Also, if you get a chance, follow us on G Plus. Our G Plus community right now is really small, and I'd really like to see that grow. We got like 300 and something people over on Facebook in the community, and it's pretty active. But the G Plus community is floating somewhere around like 13, 14. So if you could give us a follow on G Plus and share us out if you're on that platform, I would definitely appreciate that. So then that's what we got going on, and then that book is pretty much written and laid out. There's a few minor tweaks that are going to be made, but nothing that's huge. So that's going to be another one that's going to be kind of a quick turnaround, kind of like with the Complete Vigilante Hack. Up next, I want to talk about the following project and what's really going to take up a bulk of our time and going to be one of our big focuses this year is going to be Survive This Vigilante City. It is going to be our street level superhero, but a little higher level than like what was in the Vigilante Hack. This was originally inspired by Batman the Animated Series, the X-Men cartoon from the 90s, the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from the 90s. So if you think about things like that, there will be those type powers and stuff and those type beings in the world, but there won't be like a Superman or a Galactus or anything like that. So we're going to be working very hard. In case you haven't heard, I'm working with Runehammer, formerly Drunkens and Dragons, the creator of the index card RPG. Runehammer has actually done all the interior pieces. There's 50 pieces he's done so far for the interior, and he's got the cover to go. He is also doing the cover for the color version of Survive This Zombie Second Edition. So if you're a fan of Runehammer, you like his art, like his style, he is doing the cover for that Kickstarter as well. I've come to find out I got a really good working relationship with him. He and I, our creative brains kind of function on the same wavelengths, and it's great when you're working with someone who you can trust, and you know that you can trust them to take liberties, but they also know and respect enough not to go too far off the beaten path. So it's been a great experience working with Runehammer. If you're creating a game, I highly recommend checking him out as a potential artist if he's available, because he's in high demand. So that'll be the next thing, is the Survive This Vigilante City. And trust me, guys, there's going to be a lot more about that. I just kind of want to give you a heads up of what's on the horizon. Yeah, Hankering's art, it is definitely wicked. I agree. One of the things that I did want to talk about a little bit was Patreon. And Patreon, I started it really because I'd had several people ask me, did I have a Patreon page? And I had been a Patreon backer to different people, but I never set up my own page. I always kind of felt funny about that. I felt funny about asking people to give me money just so I can go be creative without a guarantee of something in return. But one of the things that's on my Patreon page, it's one of my goals, is if my Patreon page reaches $150 a month, then I will spearhead a community project for Bloat Games to do for people in the community, people who are playing the games, people who are fans of the games, to write in and submit ideas, and then be able to to get those published and put things out. One of the things for the people who've done the complete vigilante hacker or vigilante hack, that I had extra pages in the back, and so I reached out to everybody who was part of the Kickstarter. I said, hey, you guys want to submit some heroes and villains? And other people had different ideas, and I really enjoyed that process, and I really enjoyed getting the community involved. And I would like to see something like that, to where people can submit monsters for Dark Places and Demigorgons. People can submit superhero adventures for Survive This Vigilante Cities or the Vigilante Hack, and be something that would be released. Depends on how many people are submitting things, but I would like to submit at least 4 or 5 of them a year. And so if my, just as a heads up, if my Patreon gets to $150, that will allow us to be able to make that a possibility, because that's going to allow us to get things like art and then things, different things like that. So that's out there. Also, want to give everybody a heads up. If you go to www.bloatgames.com, I have a new website that we put together. It's still under construction. We're still building things in, but there's a lot of stuff in there. One of the things that you're going to find is we are doing a soft relaunch currently on our card game List Off. List Off is kind of like one of our playtesters one time told me, he said it's like playing Trivial Pursuit and Uno at the same time. I think that's what I said. Yeah. And it's kind of right, because there's the ability to have like some random stuff, but there's also a trivia element. It's really great. You can read all about it on our page. We're going to be doing some live plays of that game here on my channel very soon, so look for that. That's also after the Vigilante City. I mean, we're talking further down the road, but that'll be another one that we'll do a Kickstarter, and that's going to be a big one for us, because to kickstart a card game takes a lot more than to make a book. So with like Dark Places and Demigorgons, we were very fortunate, and we made almost 8,000. For card games, you really got over 13,000, and that's just to pay for the printing, to get the cost of the games down, and then there's a huge shipping fee coming from China and things like that. So we're still working out the details of that, but right now we have enough on hand that we're doing kind of a soft relaunch. So if you check it out, if you just watch any of our actual plays when we play those, we'll definitely and you want to pick it up, we do have those available now on our website. I just want to let everybody know about that. To give you a little background on it, that was a game that was created by Josh Palmer. We launched it in like 2015. It's crazy. And it did really well. We launched like the beta test version, and then we got in actual printed cards and stuff like that. Still didn't have a box. We were selling it just in like generic clear kind of like baseball card boxes, but and we sold it that way for a while, and it did really good. We probably sold all together probably a couple hundred units of it. But now we got the real deal in. So we got the boxes, we got the D8s, we got the expansion packs. So it's pretty neat. Definitely worth checking out. I think you still need to publish your OSR D&D supplements. there is Malik. There is I definitely want to, and I'm working on it. There is only so much. I'm finding I have more ideas than I have time. so that is one of the perils of being hyper creative, is that you just want to get everything done, but everything takes time. So yeah, I definitely would like to do some OSR stuff. I know that Josh is working on a game kind of on the side that he's been working on for years, which is a fantasy uh, game. So, and that's a world we've played in for years. So I'd be contributing that to that some, and then Josh would be putting that out, and it'd be going under the Bloat Games banner. So we got some stuff coming out, and there's some stuff that just that's been started that just not ready to talk about yet. But yeah, we definitely got stuff coming. So I wanted to let everybody know about those key points. Though really was that the Kickstarters, everything's going great. Oh, also I did want to explain why I do Kickstarters, because I've got that question quite a few times. The reason why I do Kickstarters, and why some people don't. Kickstarters can be a dangerous thing. A lot of people who have problems with Kickstarters are people who Kickstarter a project that they have an idea for, but they don't have it finished. Typically with my games, I try to have a finished product before starting the game, or before kickstarting it. The reason why I kickstart games is simply I can get better products to the people. So if I ran a Kickstarter, like with Dark Places and Demigorgons, I've had tons of positive feedback. Everybody loved the hardbacks, and with the upgraded paper inside from the real printer, as opposed to print on demand. That's the reason why I do a Kickstarter, is because if you gather that money, it's also a marketing tool, but if you're able to get in that chunk and place an order for a significant amount, you're able to get a much better quality of book, really for the same price than if you were just doing one by one. So that's why the Kickstarters are the way they are, and why we use them. Also, like I said, for marketing. There's been games in the past that I've released that weren't Kickstarters. There's several of our games, and those games hardly get any traction versus the games that have been kickstarted. So there's definitely something about Kickstarter putting you in front of lots of people that gets attention a lot more than at least I'm able to generate on my social media and stuff like that. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to actually go ahead and end this stream soon. I got a few more things I need to do tonight. I know that there's some of y'all watching. Does anybody have any questions before I jump out? I'll give you just a second. I don't know if anybody saw, but I got my Batman Returns cup. I still rock Batman Returns stuff. Oh, thanks, Malik. Malik says that as you guys are becoming standard bearers of how Kickstarter should be done. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really, I never want to, and there's stuff that can happen. I never want to be that guy who lets somebody down who is taking time and money to invest in me in one of my games. So I try my damnedest to make sure that we get done early and stuff like that. All right, Luke says, when will the Jeffersontown print on demand be available? Soon. The Lulu version of it for print on demand actually just arrived today, because I also got in the 100 vigilante hack, or complete vigilante hack. Luke, I haven't been able to look it over. It looks good so far. The one from Drive-Thru RPG has been ordered, but I'm waiting on them to ship it. Their process is a lot more in depth than Lulu, so it takes a while for Drive-Thru RPG to get stuff in. But I'll probably have, if the Lulu stuff is live, that should be available um, by the end of the week if nothing needs to be redone, if it doesn't have to be sent back through for a second pass. And that'll be something I'll definitely be putting out, letting everybody know. And also, I would recommend getting the Lulu version, just because the last few things from Drive Through RPG, for whatever reason, I'm using the same files I used to Lulu, but they're just, their covers are not as nice. Now, the one difference is they have better paper. I can't lie, they got better paper, nice white paper through Drive Through RPG, but I haven't figured out how to manipulate to get them exactly what they want so that I can get exactly what I want. And I'm working on it, but I've reached out to several publishers, and I'm finding that there's a lot of us who are having challenges with getting that done. So, but the J-Town print on demand should be available, this week, unless there's something wrong with the book or it knocked off the formatting, and I have to reorder another proof through Lulu. At least the Lulu will be available, and that'll be available through Lulu as well as through our web store at bloatgames.com. Yeah, that cover to the Jeffersontown setting guide is pretty badass. It's by a guy named George Catronis. It was just stock art on Drive Through RPG. It wasn't something that I commissioned or anything like that, but I saw it and I said, "Oh man, that's perfect. I gotta have that." So I love the way it turned out. The back cover of the book will be the map. So the map's on the interior as well, kind of right at the front, like the main map, and then the maps broke down into little chunks throughout the book. But the back cover will be the map, just to let you know. That way you don't have to flip through the inside to point out to somebody where they're at. Oh, also, oh man, I almost forgot. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about while we're waiting for the last few questions. I am going to the Palladium Open House, and I'm taking Josh with me. So, and we're taking one of our friends, Collins, up there, and we're meeting up with some people. I know that there's going to be quite a few YouTubers up there, and we're going to be hanging out and stuff. So, if you're planning on going to the Palladium Open House, I know that Palladium just released some bad news about their tech. I hate to hear that they have that many unhappy people. But I will be at the Palladium Open House. That's kind of been a bucket list item for me. And if you're there, please come up and say something. Because one thing that I know, it's kind of hard to believe because I do these videos and I talk to everybody, I can be painfully shy. I have a hard time. I don't ever want to bother anybody. So a lot of times if I see you, even if I know it's you, I won't necessarily go up and say hi because I'm worried that I'm bothering you. So please, if you see me out at, and this is really any con or anything like that, come say hi. But I'll definitely be at the Palladium Open House on April 19th through the 22nd. So. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any more questions. I want to thank everybody for hanging in there tonight. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm glad we were able to make it through. And then I'll probably be back on tomorrow. I actually have a review of another OSR product I want to do. So, it's not going to be Bloat Games related, but it'll be a review of something that came to me that I really like. But in the meantime, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope you're able to get in some good gaming. I'm having a game session over here tomorrow night. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure we're going to play D&D or if we're just going to work on one of our card games that's in development. So we shall see. But it depends on who all shows up. Last few weeks have been kind of hard getting everybody together. There's been a lot of cancellations. So, anyways, guys, that's all I got for you tonight. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks again for all the support and all the love. I appreciate it. Take it easy, guys. Bye. Now, if I can figure out how to stop this, let's see. There we go. All right. Bye, guys.